This life is a long ride. Straight, full of wisdom, truth, and full of God. I found love a couple times. Nice, had a couple trusted friends, and sometimes this life is a long ride. Straight, test double lanes, I'm survived. I had thoughts of suicide. That's not my life. I was down 1,000 times. Okay, this is my first time in this hemisphere. Lord knows I've been here. I walked up before, so I'm just like a mission here. World I live so my parents ever was sincere. He came up with us on the earth. Mom's in his body's here. Nana on her deathbed. Telling me I'm tired here. At the age of 4, that was just a year. Now I'm at 34, showing signs of spirit here. To the earth and to rest below us. That is here. We came up to love and the trust. That never heal. They want me to live with people. Watch you step in this minefield. Let's believe I tell you these things are real. Reflection of yourself. Can't pray for Lord to interfere. God knows I've been going through shit. Even through it all, I found lessons in it. But my soul has never found peace with every step. I gain strength, so I swear I'll never quit. This life is a long ride. Straight, full of wisdom, truth, and full of God. I found love a couple times. Nice, had a couple trusted friends, and sometimes this life is a long ride. Straight, test double lanes, I'm survived. I had thoughts of suicide. That's not my life. I was down 1,000 times. Choose your life. Test double lanes, make any shout. The way you feel the homeless, it tastes like bumps and blows. When the term is affliction, you can't be no hope. Here the other man ain't shown. Things are good when things are low. Lord knows I didn't walk through the fire. Beat to the cold, hated up with demons, trying to take my soul. Why you been prince in the sand is not strong. In this mission of ascension for this vessel and soul. Generational curses sometimes when they talk. No man is a prophet in the land of his home. In a man's household or many folks family means well, but this time they pigeonhole. I pray the Father welcome this prodigal son home. Just living out my life, righting my wrongs. If I die tonight, no fear, my soul lives on. It's a long ride. Straight, full of wisdom, truth, and full of God. I found love a couple times. Nice, had a couple trusted friends, and sometimes this life is a long ride. Straight, test double lanes, I'm survived. I had thoughts of suicide. I was down 1,000 times. Choose your life. This life is a long ride.
All right. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, the Commanding General Yohana. You understand? It's Monday. You understand the history breakdown class. You know what I'm saying? As it's been redubbed. You understand? We're gonna pick back up where we left off last week, dealing with the history of the Native Americans, right? So, just as a precursor, let me go ahead and get the screen right real quick. Screen set up for everything. Just as a precursor, last week, we went over from all of their traditions. You understand, like who they are, who different researchers have found out they are and believe that they are the lost 10 tribes of the the lost 10 tribes of the nation of Israel. They are not of Mongoloid descent. You know, they're not to be confused with the Chinese, because you know there are classifications of Native Americans here in the Americas. You know what I'm saying? So you have the Negroid, the Mongoloid, and it's like one other classification, but they are not of Chinese descent, and it's brought out because of their traditions. So we brought out last week how they keep the Day of Atonement. They have an annual year of feasting. They believe in eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You understand? As far as retribution, they have a city of refuge, just like it says that we're supposed to have in the Bible, right? So you know, just in case, you know, a brother accidentally killed a brother on accident, you know, while they were out working. Actually, the example they gave in the book was almost right in line with what the example that was given in the scriptures, right? Also talking about like seed, like as far as like, you know, being of the seed of your father, and your tribe and things of that nature. And then going into how when they come together, you know, in powwows, one of the things that they chant is Yahweh Shai. So for these things, you know, they keep the Sabbath, you know, every 7th day, which is a Saturday, you know, is a day of rest for them. So this is you know, in the tribe that Mr. Adair, James Adair, who wrote this book, he dwelled around the Chickasaw Nation, the nations that surround the Chickasaw Nation, like the Choctaw was there, the Creek was there, and all of them kept the same traditions, honored the same traditions. So you know, we went over the women customs last week. You know, they covered their heads. As far as like, you know, when they were on their cycle, they had to be separated. You know, they couldn't come into the temple, none of that, you know, things of that nature. And then, you know, when they conceiving children, you know, they have the same time of separation, that they can't come into the congregation until their time of cleanliness is done. You know, and just like, you know, when you have any type of issue, you know, you cleanse yourself with running water. They do the exact same thing, as I brought out, you know what I'm saying, last week. So what we're going to pick up on is where I left off at with the dietary law. Okay, give me a moment to set things up for you guys real quick. Let's see, so you guys can read along as we move along. Okay, page 140. Hey, Uriah, page 140. All right, page 140. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Here we go. Page 140. Yes, sir. Rotate. Transition. Rotate clockwise. It's not what I was trying to do. Rotate counterclockwise. This is what I was trying to do. Rotate this one clockwise.
You want it at the top of that the paragraph, or you want it from?
Yeah, we gonna run it like that. Let me put it up on the screen so they can read along. All right. Transition. There we go. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is the page 140 out of the book History of the American Indians. I've already shown their aversion to eating unsanctified fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And in this argument, that they abstain from several other things, contrary to the usage of the old heathen world. It may be objected that now they seldom refuse to eat hog's flesh.
Did they do what?
Seldom refuse to eat hog's flesh.
Mm-hmm.
When the traders invite them to it, but this proceeds entirely from vicious imitation and which is common with the most civilized nations. When swine were first brought among them, they deemed it such a horrid abomination.
They deemed it a what?
A horrid abomination.
So the Native Americans, when the settlers first started coming into the land, and the settlers tried to share their abominations, that try to share their swine with them. You know, they brought pigs and all other types of animals with them. They saw that animal and called it an abomination. You understand? Who else calls swine an abomination? The children of Israel. We're gonna get into that. Keep reading.
Deemed it such a horrid abomination in any of their people to eat that filthy and impure food.
Filthy and what?
And impure.
Because it's unclean, it's unholy. Read.
That they excluded the criminal from all religious communion in their circular townhouse.
You understand? So there we go again. You know what I'm saying? If you were considered unclean, you understand, and you broke the law, you understand, you were separated. You were removed from the congregation. You know what I'm saying? You were removed from all your duties. You understand? Keep reading.
In their circular townhouse or in their quadrangular holy ground at the annual expiation of sin.
At the what? Say it again.
The annual expiation of sin.
That's the Day of Atonement, which we just did over this past weekend. The Native Americans kept the Day of Atonement. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know, this is directly dealing with the Chickasaw Nation and surrounding nations that were around them. You know what I'm saying? Which were the Choctaw and the Creek. You understand? Which is, if you want to talk geographically wise, this is south of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi for sure. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple of parts of Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? But you got the Geechee around there too. But go ahead, keep reading.
Equally as if he had eaten unsanctified fruits.
Mm-hmm.
The yearly atonement was made at the temple. He was indeed readmitted to his usual privilege.
You understand? So if like, so prime example, right? So the Day of Atonement was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It was from Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown, right? So if today on Monday, if you ate swine's flesh, you would be excommunicated and separated from the tribe until that time next year. You understand? As it's written biblically. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Formerly, none of their beloved men or warriors would eat or drink with us on the most pressing invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Through fear of polluting themselves, they deemed us such impure animals.
You understand? Which is also biblical law. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to invite any stranger into any holy convocation. You understand? Strangers are not allowed in any type of holy convocation. You know what I'm saying? The Native Americans were so righteous, when the settlers were amongst them, they excluded themselves from amongst the settlers, you understand, to make sure that they were able to complete and do their priestly duties, their priestly work. You understand? These were priests and prophets of the Lord, man. Keep reading.
It's a lot here, if I may say.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even just to tie this part, you know.
Speak a little louder so I can.
Even just to tie this part in biblically, like what you're saying, like when Joseph and them finally got together in Egypt.
Right.
When it came time for them to eat, they separated themselves from the Egyptians.
Right.
And went and ate in a whole nother room.
Right.
Because it was beneath them to even eat with the Egyptians.
Right.
And
But
so that the Native Americans carried that same,
right. And you know what's crazy about that? The Egyptians thought themselves, they were so high and mighty not to co-work and congregate with the children of Israel. But like you said, it was really the other way around. You know what I'm saying? We're not even allowed. We're not even allowed to congregate with them, man, at all. You understand? Like we have to separate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? When we keep these holy convocations and these holy feast days, it is a Black, Hispanic, and Native American event only. You understand? It's not for nobody else. Go ahead.
And Salaki, if I may, when you put it in your spirit to keep these laws, you'll just normally do this on a regular day.
Right.
You'll keep them from amongst you in all things that you do.
Right.
Because you'll know that you don't need them.
Right.
You got your brethren and you got the Lord. And you don't want the Lord to be against you.
And what the brother is bringing out is so heavy, like it's just second nature to me. You know what I'm saying? Like at my job, it's always somebody's birthday, and because, I'm a chef, they be, bringing out cakes and all of this stuff or whatever, like when it's co-workers and stuff like that. But like, yeah, we gonna go out here and sing happy birthday, to such and such and such and such. Like, yeah, y'all go ahead. Oh, you not coming? Nah, we don't do that in my culture. Right. Well, what do you mean? Well, not I tell them, my boss, you know what I'm saying, her name is I won't say her name, you feel me? It's like, well, she's aware, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't celebrate birthdays. You know what I'm saying? And they just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? So they go and do their thing, do their little birthday, you know what I'm saying, one time for the birthday girl and all that stuff, and I just be in the kitchen cooking by myself. Go ahead.
And if I may say, like, probably to a point now, because you've been that way for so long,
people don't even ask
press you
mm-hmm.
like they were pressing these Native Americans.
Right.
And what you and I don't know if I told you this last week, but what you bringing out is so heavy as far as the history point, because to a point, some of the Native Americans showed themselves to be uncompromising.
Right.
Once you make yourself something that cannot be compromised, you pretty much pass through everything in life. Not saying you ain't gonna get tested. Right. But the tests are going to become so second nature. It's like, I can pass that.
Right.
That's why the Day of Atonement is so heavy, because, on that day, anybody could have called you and offered you food, but if they knew you and understood that you ain't going to fold or move, right, they ain't going to call you phone. There's no point.
I mean, and that's how it is now. Like my friends that I came up with in the world, a birthday party was an event. You know what I'm saying? It's when, we'd all get together and, right, and post up. You feel me? Of course, it's multiple birthdays throughout the year. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even hit me up no more. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know, oh man, he not gonna fade through. He not coming through. You know what I'm saying? And you do it for twofold reasons. I mean, can you go to a party? Yes, you can go to a party. You know what I'm saying? You just don't partake in the festivities, but you don't want to be a stumbling block to a brother or a sister that is trying to come into the truth. Because when they see you at a birthday party and you supposed to be an Israelite, keeping law, statutes, commandments, oh, it's lawful to go to birthday parties. I saw MACHAATAZA doc, you know what I'm saying? He was at the birthday party. You know what I'm saying? So I don't not go because I can't go. You know what I'm saying? I don't go because I don't want to be a hindrance or a stumbling block to a brother or a sister that's not as strong as I am. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So I completely abstain all the way together. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, keep reading, brother.
Like our eating of the flesh of swine and venison with gravy in it help to rivet their dislike.
Help to what?
Help to rivet their dislike.
See, the white man is such a devil, right? You understand? He knows that you just not gonna eat the swine's flesh by itself. So he's like, you know what? Let's mask it. You know what I'm saying? Let's mix it with some venison. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what venison is, that's deer meat. You understand? And then smother it with gravy. They won't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? That's why now, you know what I'm saying, when you get deer meat or you get lamb, you know what I'm saying, ground to like put in a sausage, it either has to be mixed with beef or with pork. You know what I'm saying? Or in a pork casing, right? You know what I'm saying? This goes all the way back to the settlers, which should let you know, you know what I'm saying, like, a lot of blacks and Hispanics, we don't get caught up in foolish genealogies, But you know, if you look in your family tree, majority of y'all got Gad in y'all family. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you know, which still makes it. I don't understand how blacks or Hispanics can celebrate Thanksgiving. Like it's literally a slap in the face of your ancestors. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reason why when you buy venison, you know what I'm saying, or when you buy ground lamb, or when you buy venison sausage or lamb sausage, you understand, it's either mixed with pork or now mixed with beef. But back then, the reason why they mixed it was so they could get them to start eating the swine and give up their culture. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that the white man is such a goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? That's why it says they came with crafty counsel, man. They know who you are. Right. You understand? And they can get you to forsake your God and forsake your culture. They can overpower and overtake thee. That's why you have to be so over and uncompromising over the small things. Right. You understand? It's not just birthday cake. You understand? It's pork. Right. It's birthday. You got to treat birthday cake like it's homosexuality. That's right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta treat birthday cake. You understand? Like it's bestiality. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta treat the small things like it's the most asinine, most blaspheming thing that you can possibly do to the Most High God. That's how uncompromising you have to be. That's right. You understand? You can't be like, well, you know, this won't hurt or that won't hurt, because you compromise over the little things. You understand? A snowball turns into a boulder. Right. You understand? The snowball effect. Keep reading, brother.
Mm-hmm. I once asked the
Archimagus
mm-hmm. to sit down and partake of my dinner. Mm-hmm. But he excused himself, saying he had in a few days some holy duty to perform. Mm-hmm. That if he eat evil.
If he do what?
If he eat evil.
Why would he say it's evil? You understand? Like, the only way he would know it was evil, you know what I'm saying, if he know the law, statutes, and commandments. But notice what he said. He said that I won't part. He said to sit down and partake of my dinner. He said, but he excused himself, saying if he had a duty to perform, which means that somebody had brought pork mixed with venison or pork mixed with goat into the camp before, so they were starting to partake of it. You understand? So understand this, because one person, and they didn't excommunicate that person, partook in his swine flesh, Geronimo happened. You understand? Because of one person partook in swine's flesh, the Trail of Tears happened. You understand? Because of one person that took swine's flesh, you understand? Like the battle of Little Bighorn happened. You understand? Go ahead.
Sir, if I may, because one person partook of swine's flesh, destiny was manifested from seed to shining seed.
You understand? Because of one piece of venison sausage mixed with pork. You understand? If you break the law, statutes, and commandments and be compromised in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you welcome to be conquered. You understand? Not to sound Christian, but if you want to be more than a conqueror, the only way that you can do that is by being perfect. You know what I'm saying? Christians be like, I'm more than a conqueror and all of this stuff or whatever, but you don't do what is necessary to conquer. You understand? You talking about you want your own land, you want to be an independent nation and stuff like that, but you can't even conquer self. You know what I'm saying? How can you go on a conquest to conquer and you can't even rule over yourself, man? You understand? Keep reading, brother. And speak up a little bit. There you go.
Or accursed food, it would spoil him. Mm-hmm. Alluding to swine's flesh. Though most of their virtue hath lately been corrupted.
Have been what?
Lately been corrupted.
There you go, right there. Keep reading.
In this particular, they still affix vicious and contemptible ideas to the eating of swine's flesh. Mm-hmm. In so much that Skukapa, swine eater, is the most appropriate
Epithet.
epithet they can use to brand us with.
You know what I'm saying? That, like I think I said this last week. I'm gonna start saying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start calling them boys. You know what I'm saying? Shakapa. You know what I'm talking about? You a swine eater. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You a unclean infidel. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start calling wine people Shakapa. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? You be like, oh man, hey Shakapa, man, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
What General Muhammad called that the horde that ran up on the Kentucky, he called them boys uncircumcised.
Hey man, hey, but what's crazy is that's how you know what I'm saying, that the Native Americans they getting on their road. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
They commonly subjoin Akagangapa, eater of dunghill fowl.
You understand? So not only were they eating swine's flesh, but they was eating unclean birds like duck. You know what I'm saying? Like geese. You understand? Probably eating vulture, buzzard. You understand? Ravens. You know what I'm saying? They was eating unclean birds. You understand? So not only was they calling them Shakapa, you know what I'm saying? They was calling Unkagapa. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Not only was they calling them swine eaters, they was calling them shitbird eaters, Slakia. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Both together signifying filthy, helpless animals. By our surprising mismanagement in allowing them a long time to insult, abuse, rob, and murder the innocent British subjects at pleasure without the least satisfaction, all Indian nations formerly despised the English.
They did what?
Despised the English as a swarm of tame fowls and termed them so in their set speeches.
You understand? So now you understand partially why the Native Americans were so volatile towards the English and so volatile towards the British and so volatile towards the French, because they were evil. You understand? They ate evil, did evil, spoke evil. You understand? So anytime they got, you understand, they was murking them. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want any type of evil around their borders or to creep into their camp. Go ahead.
And if I could, sir, like what he got right here is so heavy, because what it says is it termed them as filthy, helpless animals.
Right.
Depicting that they didn't, that because they was eating those unclean animals and things, they understood that they didn't know how to live, and described them as animals, even just going further back to the scriptures, calling them beasts.
Right.
Calling them beasts of the field.
Right.
And they was calling them filthy, helpless beasts.
Right.
And they didn't even know how to live. So it further proves that even when they got here to the shores, they was off the verge of dying. And the only thing that could help them maintain was to get us to sin and then overpower them through their sin.
Damn right. Get that brother a hand, man. That's yeah, good night, man. Good night. You understand? Keep reading.
The Indians, through a strong principle of religion, abstain in the strictest manner from eating the blood of any animal. Good night. It contains the life and spirit of the beast, and was the very essence of the sacrifice that were to be offered up for sinners.
You understand? So that's straight biblical, man. That's straight out of the Bible. And you supposed to cook all of the blood out of the meat, man. Hold on, let me. Oh, they couldn't see that bottom part. Hold on. Oh, let me transition it over. Uh-oh. What'd I just do? Hold on. I didn't move this thing all the way over. Hold on. Yes. Go to view. Add image. There we go. Alright. My bad, y'all. I accidentally removed the transition off. Technical difficulty. There we go. Okay. Clockwise. Hold on, bro. I'm gonna have you reread that last part here in a second. Let me get it back right so they can read along with you. But yeah, but like he was saying, man, like this is strictly out of the Bible, man. Like they didn't partake in swine's flesh because it was unclean. You understand? And then on top of that, you understand, they didn't eat any meat with the blood in it because they knew that within the blood was the life force. You understand? Here we go. Transition. Go ahead, reread it for them real quick so they can read along with you. I apologize. I didn't have it up so y'all can read the bottom part along with them.
This is the book. It's the book 140, page 140, out of the history of the American Indians, the last paragraph. The Indians, through a strong principle of religion, abstain in the strictest manner from eating the blood of any animal. It contains the life and spirit of the beast, and was the very essence of the sacrifice that were to be offered up for sin.
Right. You understand? So while we on the subject, give me 11 and 7. 11 and 7. Well, do 11 and 7 first, and then that one.
Okay.
And then go. Well, read the one that you got, and then go to 11 and 7.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 17, verse 11. For the life, I can go up and read it from 10, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 17, verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people.
You understand? You want to know why you got the coronavirus? You know what I'm saying? Amongst many things that these shakapas do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it like you don't they tell you don't eat, you don't know how to eat steak. You gotta get it rare, medium rare. You know what I'm saying? Where the blood is running out of it, where you gotta chew it 3 million times. You know what I'm saying? In order to devour it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So this is what they do, man. Everything that is considered ungodly, you understand, they consider it a delicacy. You're not supposed to eat anything of the water, whether it's seawater or fresh water, without, you know what I'm saying, fins and scales. You understand? But they'll have you know what I'm saying, eating octopus. You know what I'm saying, eating eel. You understand? Or eating bottom feeders like shrimp, crab, and lobster, crustaceans. You know what I'm saying? I call them devastations. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Abominations. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? But go ahead.
Verse 11. For the life of the flesh is in the blood.
Right.
And I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your soul.
Right.
For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. You
understand? So how can you eat something that is of the soul, that is of the living? You understand? To take on that life, or to take on the blood is to take on the life force of that animal, and that is detestable. You know what I'm saying? You basically devouring the soul of that animal, right, the life force of that animal. And why would you want to do that? You understand? Like you don't, and especially like here in America, you don't know how these animals are slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? Like like the one thing Esau knows is that they have to. I mean, and it comes from a long history of butchering. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain way you have to butcher an animal to where there's no fear, because fear will turn the flavor of the meat. You understand? So what you have to do is, you understand, you have to like separate the flow of thought and energy from the flesh and the brain instantly. So they got the what they call the it is a form of a cattle prod, but it's how they kill the animal. I mean, now they just put them in a machine and the machine does it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a little it looks like a police nightstick. You know what I'm saying? It has a button at the top of it, and you just stomp it on the top of the cow or whatever animal you're doing right here in the middle of their head, and it separates the brain stem from the column. You understand? It's a certain way that you have to do it to make sure that the flavor of the meat doesn't turn. You understand? And that's how you know white man is just such a devil, man. You know what I'm saying? He's just evil. You understand? And then he cooks it to where he devours the life force of the animal. You understand? Now give me Leviticus 11:7, dealing with swine.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
Right.
He is unclean to you. And of their flesh shall ye not eat, and
Right.
their carcass shall ye not touch.
Right.
They are unclean to you.
You understand? So the Native Americans were in the spirit of the Lord. You understand? They kept the same customs that they kept in their own land. You understand? Right. So they, like, you know, we brought out in the last class the scripture that lined up with it in Second Edges. You know what I'm saying? Where they left, you know, their land to go to a land where no man had ever knoweth, so that they, you understand, can keep the customs of their fathers, which they didn't keep in their own land. You understand? Where they were separated from all the nations, separated from all temptation. You understand? I mean, it was a smart move, but it was also detrimental and counterproductive to them as well, because they weren't used to dealing with temptation. They weren't used to dwelling amongst other nations. So when other nations came around, you understand, curiosity killed the cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are these people? These strange, pale-faced devils that we've never seen before. You understand? What is this new thing that they're doing? You understand? So, you know the old saying, curiosity killed the cat, right? You feel me? All right. So we're gonna move on to another section. All right. Page 137. Page 137. All right, let me transition it over. All right. Let me see how I want you to start at. Let me pull it up on my phone.
You got it highlighted, and none of them will eat any animal whatsoever, and you know or suspect that it died of itself.
There we go. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Come. You want me to that upper paragraph?
Well, no, yeah, do that, because it goes into the birds of prey, and that's also in the law, statutes, and commandments in Leviticus 11. No sweat. Go ahead, brother. You know, hey man, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Most High Christ, brother. Get a skilled reader hand. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of 137 out of the history of the American Indians. They reckon all birds of prey and birds of the night to be unclean and unlawful to be eaten.
Okay, and why is that? You understand? Like, what is a bird of prey? You understand? Go ahead, you're right. What would you consider a bird of prey?
Like, so like if I may say, a bird of prey would be something like an eagle, or like a raven, or a hawk, or something like that.
A buzzard, you know what I'm saying?
That they eat the meat of like like things they prey on, so it's predatory birds, stuff like that, or
and vultures. You know what I'm saying? And all. Not only do are they predatory birds, but they eat dead flesh as well.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So why would you want to excuse the commonness of my vernacular and this colloquialism? Why would you want to eat shit that eats shit? Salakia. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And Salakia, I made it just attests to a point that you brought out earlier, or maybe it might have been last class, that it was like, you know, that they're part of the reason why the ecosystem and everything is the way that it is, because not only do they hunt these birds and make, you know, trophies out of them, but you go into the ocean and you eat the things that would have, you know, when the oil tanker, you know what I'm saying, busted open in the Gulf around 2005, something
Right.
like that, you know, it would have naturally, you know, came back alive in the Gulf, you know what I'm saying, but it's still destroyed, and they still eat the things from out of the bottom of that.
Now watch this, man. And I want to say it was last year, right? So a rare occurrence occurs like every 50 years in the Gulf of Mexico. There's an anomaly that happened where the tide reverses, right? And instead of bringing the reason why the water is the way it is in the Gulf of Mexico, especially like in Galveston, is because the way the tide runs, it brings current from the Mississippi where it dumps into the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, which turns the water to murky color because of the red clay, right? So every 50 years, there's an anomaly that happened. It just so happened it happened last year, and the tide reversed, and for I believe for like a week, Galveston water was clear just like it used in Miami. You can see the bottom of your feet, you know what I'm saying, in the ocean. You understand? Which shows you understand, like, if you leave nature alone to do what nature is going to do and let it go along to itself, like when we first started quarantining, nature started healing itself when it was left alone. You understand? The air pollution levels went down in Shanghai and Tokyo, California, Istanbul. You had animals that were coming out of the wild and walking up to the doorsteps of people because, you know, you didn't have hunters out there anymore. Right. You understand? They were actually able to roam free. You understand? You didn't have people going down there to cut forests and stuff like that. So the animals, they were just like, y'all home? We just want to make sure it's okay before we just really just be how we was made to be. You understand? But that just lets you know. You understand? Like, when you leave nature alone, that's what the Lord is going to do. When the Lord comes and he sifts the earth like wheat, you understand? And everything is cut down, the world is going to be allowed to be, it's going to be a brand new heaven and a brand new earth. You understand? All right. So go ahead, keep reading, Uriah.
Not long ago, when the Indians were making their winter's hunt, and the old women were without flesh meat at home, I shot a small fat hawk, and desired one of them to take and dress it. But though I strongly importuned her by way of trial, she as earnestly refused it for her fear of contracting pollution.
You understand? Like we were so, our sisters were strong. You understand? We were so righteous, our sisters were strong. You understand? She refused to allow him to even bring that filthy beast into her home for fear of pollution. You understand? What is the pollution? You cut that animal open and all it's been eating is dead flesh. It's just like a pig. You understand? A pig doesn't have pores. You understand? So it's an incubation for disease. Right. You understand? So that's why white people be getting all of these strange diseases, because they eat things that incubate the disease in them. Right.
Right.
You understand? And when they found out they can get diseases from these unclean animals, then they started concocting them and twisting them and turning them in labs. You know what I'm saying? Where you get the swine flu, you get the West Nile, you get Zika, you get AIDS. You understand? You get herpes, you get syphilis. You understand? All of these things are concocted in a lab. You understand? But the Lord used it. You understand? Because the only way that you can stop wickedness is with evil.
That's right.
You understand? You want to know how you stop a pedophile? With evil. You understand? When you just, oh, it's just Ricky. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all just let it go unchecked in the family. But when that pedophile, you understand, receives evil for his wickedness, that'll give him something to think about the next time he decides to think about touching a child. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
And so, like, if I may, the next portion goes exactly into what you're saying.
Go ahead, brother.
If I could.
Go ahead.
She called, she refused it for fear of contracting pollution, which she called the accursed sickness. She described, to call something accursed, you saying that this is something spiritual behind it. It's the evil that you're saying. And then she goes further to say, supposing that the disease would be the necessary effect of such an impurity.
You understand? So, you know what a necessary effect of an impurity is? That's a curse. You understand? Like this ain't nothing to play with, man. Like we be trying to tell y'all, y'all, it ain't nothing superstitious about it, man. There's a cause and an effect for everything, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? If things are going awry in your life, I guarantee you it's directly applicable to the choices that you're making.
Right.
You understand? Like, if you want to remove you want to normalize things. You just break it down to cause and effect. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to use what's the science that the comedic what's the term the comedic community be using? What is it? Oh my God. I'm so far removed from it, man. I used to say this stuff all the time. Good night. Oh, it's gonna kill me. It don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter. So, like, if you gotta remove the mysticism from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I use secular example for divine clarification. You know what I'm saying? If you got gout, it's because you're eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You know what I'm saying? If you got cancer, it's from eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You know what I'm saying? A friend of mine posted an article of a butcher, I believe, that worked. I want to say like Walmart or somewhere like that. It's a big chain. And when they saw the cancer in the meat, they said they didn't want to eat meat anymore because they said normally what they do is they just cut the cancer out of the pork flesh, and then they bleach that section so it's not discolored. You know what I'm saying? Like that's evil, man. Like you want to know why you get cancer? Is because you eat flesh that has cancer in it. You understand? It's a byproduct. You want to know why you get lung cancer? Because you smoke 5 to 10 packs of cigarettes a week. You know what I'm saying? For 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? You want to know why you get lung cancer? Because you smoking 4 to 7 blunts a day. You understand? They be like, well, you don't get cancer from smoking weed. How you think Bob Marley died? He died from cancer. You understand? Like, don't be simple-minded, man. You understand? You want to know how you get colon cancer? You understand? From putting all of these diverse, you know what I'm saying, foul, unclean things through your digestive tract. You understand? And these things, colon cancer is prominent amongst Black, Hispanic, and Native American men. Breast cancer is prominent against Black, Hispanics, and Native American women. You understand? Lung cancer is prominent in our community. You understand? You like that's That's the one thing that backfired on the white man. He didn't think that his people would be so addicted to smoking cigarettes, so it's slowly killing them too.
Right.
You understand? But like we had like the scriptures, this is our wisdom, man. This is our wisdom. You understand? This is our knowledge in the sight of the other nations, man. You got to take hold of your culture. Take it back, man. It don't belong to nobody else except for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Go ahead and read, brother.
Oh, God. Eagles of every kind esteemed unclean food. Likewise, ravens, the name of a tribe with them. Crows, buzzards, swallows, bats, and every species of owls. And they believe that swallowing flies, mosquitoes, or gnats always breed sicknesses or worms, according to the quantity that goes into them, which, though it may not imply extraordinary skills in physics, shows their retention of the ancient law.
Of the what law?
Ancient law.
The new law.
Ancient law.
The governmental law.
Ancient law.
You understand? Because according to biblical law, you can only eat certain insects like locusts. You know what I'm saying? Grasshoppers. You know what I'm saying? You know how gnats and flies are bred from maggots, man. From dead flesh. You understand? From larvae. You understand? Like this, like when you eat those things, they lay their eggs inside of you and you get worms inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Your flesh begins to rot from the inside. You understand? Like the Lord designed your body, you know what I'm saying? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You understand? When you go into the earth, your body gives back to the earth. You understand? When your body or anybody, it doesn't matter what beast of the field it is or a human body, it breaks down the same way. You understand? With maggots, you know what I'm saying? They eat at your body, turn into larvae, then turn into flies, man, and worms. You feel me? Like that's why in the Bible it says you are worm food. You understand? For the crypt. You understand? For what's that what's it called? Wormswood?
Wormwood.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you wormwood from the crypt. You know what I'm saying? The worm food. You feel me? Keep reading.
Shows their retention of the ancient law, which prohibited the swallowing of flies. For to this that divine sarcasm alludes, swallowing a camel and straining at a gnat. Such insects were deemed unclean.
Were deemed what?
Unclean. As well as vexatious and hurtful. The god of Ekron was Beelzebub, or the god,
or the ruler of flies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? What was that movie? Flyman? Wasn't oh God. No, this is before your time, baby. This is when I was your age. With your boy from Jurassic Park. No, it's called The Fly. That's what it was called, The Fly. You understand? Like that was a old, you know what I'm saying, to Beelzebub. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people gotta pay attention, but the only way that you gonna see the signs and the writings on the wall is if you know the scriptures. Right. You understand? Go ahead, keep reading. Now we get into the highlighted part.
None of them will eat any animal whatsoever if they either know or suspect that it died of itself. I lately asked one of the women the reason of throwing a dunghill fowl outdoors on the corn house. She said that she was afraid. Opi Abika Hakset Elah, it died with the distemper of the mad dog. And that if she had eaten it, it would have affected her in the very same manner.
You understand? Damn. Like, so that further lets you know why the white man is such a killer without remorse. He's a mad dog, man. His mind is gone. You know what I'm saying? He's 5150. He retarded. He gone. You know what I'm saying? He got mad dog disease because of what he ingests and put inside of his body. This is spiritual, man. You understand? And our ancestors knew this. The Native Americans knew this. You understand? Like that you weren't supposed to eat these things, man. You want to know why we out here killing each other? Just like the white man out here killing each other? Because you got mad dog disease, man. You know what I'm saying? You return to your own vomit because you don't know no better, because the Lord is giving you over to your reprobated mind because you've turned your nose up and you've turned your back on your culture, man. That's why we go so hard in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, teaching our people to come back to their culture. You understand? So they can give up, you know what I'm saying, what we call the schism, you know what I'm saying, Stockholm Syndrome, aka mad dog disease. You understand? You know what I'm saying? You give up the culture of your oppressor, man, and turn back to the love of your people. Keep reading. You got a comment, brother?
Nah, I'm just I can read the book. That's all.
No, let's wait. Keep reading. Oh, bro, it's way more stuff than the stuff that we bringing out in class, man. This book is really heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like really, bro. This if I brought out everything in this book, bro, it'd be like dang on near a 5-7 part series, man. Keep reading.
I said, if so, she did well to save herself from danger.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it seems she had forgotten the cats.
Mm.
She replied that such impure animals would not contract the accursed sickness on account of any evil thing that they ate.
You understand? So that's another thing that you got to understand. You don't know what these animals devour. You understand? These animals eat accursed things, man. So why would you eat an accursed thing that eats accursed things? That means you around here eating everything. You would know, you know better than the beasts of the field. You're simple minded. You know what I'm saying? You don't know your toes from your ear hole. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
On account of any evil thing that they eat, but that the people who ate the flesh of the swine that fed on such polluting food would certainly become mad.
Will become what?
Mad.
The white man is mad. The Arab is mad. The Asian is mad. The East Indian is mad. They crazy, man. That's why they act the way they do. That's why they treat you the way that they do. And even in the midst of your condition, you still have love in your heart. You understand? Keep reading, brother.
In the year 1766.
And you gonna go to the next page.
A madness seized the wild beasts in the remote woods of West Florida. And about the same time, the domestic dogs were attacked with the like distemper. The deer were equally infected. The Indians in the winter's hunt found several lying dead, some in a helpless condition, and others fierce and mad. But though they all fond of increasing their number of deer skins, both from emulation and for profit, yet none of them durst venture to slay them, lest they should pollute themselves and thereby incur bodily evils.
You understand? Like, this is biblical, man. Oh, Salaki, I didn't pull that page up so they can read. Hold on. My bad, y'all. I be getting so yeah, no sweat. I be getting so caught up, you know what I'm saying, on the information. Hold on, I'm about to put it on the screen for y'all. Hold on, let me bring it down. Go ahead, Uriah.
In the year 1766, a madness seized the wild beasts in the remote woods of West Florida. And about the same time, the domestic dogs were attacked with the like distemper. The deer were equally infected. The Indians in their winter's hunt, found several lying dead, some in a helpless condition, and others fierce and mad. But though are all fond of increasing their number of deer skins, both from emulation and for profit, yet none of them durst venture to slay them, lest they should pollute themselves and thereby incur bodily evil.
Now watch this, man. Let me like there's a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. I think it's called like The Revenant, something like that, something along them lines, right? So the Native Americans are so righteous, man. Like even in the winter, so they use deer skin, you understand, for their own purpose. You understand, to keep warm,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and to make garments, but they also use deer skin to sell at market, right? Because they knew that, you know, that the settlers, they would buy it and stuff like that or whatever. But, you know, for us, you know, we just use what we need. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they allowed, you know, other people to come up from a strange land and set up commerce around them. And they felt that they needed the commerce of the white man instead of living off the land that God gave them. You know, they would sell. But even in the midst of knowing that they can get money for that pellet, you know what I'm saying, or that's another term for a coat, you understand, or whether a pellet could be a pellet, a coat of a buffalo, a coat of a deer. I'm sorry, pelt, Salaki, thank you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can get pelts from different animals, but in this case it's deers. They wouldn't dare to touch it if they found that animal lying dead. Now in this movie that I'm talking about, with Leonardo DiCaprio, I think it's called The Revenant, something like that. You can Google it, or as General Muhammad say, use your Google machine. You understand? Like Leonardo DiCaprio, you know what I'm saying? He was out in the wilderness, so he killed his horse, cut his horse belly long, and climbed inside of his horse so that he could survive. You understand? And stay warm. You understand? Like that, like he's mad, man. You understand? Like if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. You know what I'm saying? If the Lord is with you, the Lord is with you. If he ain't, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? But don't do no abominable act, you know what I'm saying, just to save your life. You know what I'm saying? That's how righteous you gotta be. Go ahead, brother.
That's lucky, if I may. Like they attribute every evil act that these settlers or that these oppressors would do as something that was evil and something that would cause them, you know, divine interaction, something that would hurt them spiritually.
Right.
Like they was trying, and they held true to it for a time, which was go no way, to not go the way of the heathen.
Right.
They tried to do nothing that was like them because they'll find that deal, chop it up, kill it, and sell it to whoever.
Right.
I mean, hell, that might be some of the cause of some of the food that we get out of these markets.
I mean, and then going back to a part that you had read already, like the white man, the colonizer, the Shakapa, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Shakapa brought this dead animal, you know what I'm saying, that was an unclean animal, to him, and he was confused. So you just gonna let this meat go to waste because it died out in the field by itself? He couldn't even understand it. It didn't register in his mind, because in his land, if they come across an animal that's dead out in the field, it don't matter if wolves or anything. If another animal is eating on that animal's unclean. You can't take of that animal, because like I was saying of dealing with the birds of prey, you don't know what pollutions are in that animal that has corrupted the flesh of that animal. You understand? Like, you know, that dog might have rabies, which is mad dog disease. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Esau, the white man, they live in a constant state of rabies, man. That's why it don't register to us why they just do the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for Mad Dogs, it's you know they make potato salad with no seasoning. Maybe that's a part of Mad Dog disease too. You know what I'm saying? But to add on to this, give me Deuteronomy 14 and 21. You had something you wanted to bring out?
If I could.
Go ahead.
If I could, sir. But what you were saying was just so heavy, and this scripture, you know, people got to put this in your precept book and hold on to it, because it just speaks about them in such a way that they'll just eat anything.
Right.
For any reason. We'll go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16.
No sweat.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
You understand? And then the meat wasn't even cooked. You understand? He rushed the porridge. Like Jacob told him, bro, the porridge ain't even done, man. I don't care, man. Give me that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how he is now. You know what I'm saying? He just wants you to hand it to him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling you. I'm executive chef at a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? I get people that order steaks, you know what I'm saying, black and blue. You know what I'm saying? People that order lamb chops, medium rare, and they want it more on the rare side. You know what I'm saying? A black and blue steak is literally you heat a skillet, you know what I'm saying, up to the hottest point that it can be with the oil. You drop it, you know what I'm saying, for a minute on one side and a minute on the other side. You put it on a plate. You know what I'm saying? It's black and blue. You understand? Like that's the rawest and rare. That's black and blue is rare than rare. You know what I'm saying? Like he basically eating the meat out the pack. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. I've seen it. It's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the type of bacteria that's living in his stomach. You understand? But give me Deuteronomy 14 and 21. Mm-hmm.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 21.
Read.
Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt give it unto the stranger.
Give it unto what?
Unto the stranger.
That's why the Native American woman was like, nigga, I'm not about to cook this. You can have it. You know what I'm saying? Or she threw it out the pasture, they went and got it. You can give it to a stranger, but you can't eat it. You know what I'm saying? It's not lawful for you to intake it or for you to give it to your brother, but you can give it to a stranger of another nation because they don't have your laws or your understanding. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading. Because they got mad dog disease. They retarded. They 5150. You understand? Keep reading.
That he may eat it, or thou mayest sell it unto an alien.
You understand? Or you can sell it to us. But like the Native Americans are so righteous, they wouldn't even touch it. You understand? For fear that pollution or disease as a byproduct of them touching the animal would inflict their body with the evil that was inside of the animal. That's how righteous they were. You understand? Well, biblically, it's saying that you can sell it to an alien, to a stranger. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's not of your people. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see a kid in his mother's milk.
Mm-hmm. Give me Numbers 19 and 11. Matter of fact, hold on. Give me let's go to page 132 first. Yeah, let me pull it up on the screen real quick. Alright, go ahead.
Con is the book, this is page 132 out of the book, The History of the American Indian. This law of impurity was peculiar to the Hebrews, to deem those unclean who cohabitated with their wives till they purified themselves in clean water.
Now read the beginning of the second paragraph.
The beginning of the second paragraph. the Israelites became unclean only by touching their dead for the spaces of 7 days.
For how many days?
7 days.
Uh-huh.
And the high priest was prohibited to come near the dead.
Mm-hmm.
'Tis much the same with the Indians to this day.
You understand? The Native Americans kept you were unclean for 7 days if you touched a dead body. You understand? Which is Israelite custom. Now give me Numbers 19 and 11.
So it's done. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day shall he be clean. But if he purify not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean.
You understand? All right. So now let's get into marriage. You understand? Go to page 146. Let me pull it up. Do you have page 146? Did I send that to you? Yeah. If not, it's fine. I'll go to the other one. No swear. Hold on 1 second. I got you. Yeah, we going. That's the next one we gonna. You got it. All right, no sweat. Let me pull it up on the screen. All right, go ahead. At the very top. At the very top. Hold on, dude. Actually,
The page on 146, it starts at the end of 145.
matter of fact, yeah. Just we gonna read 145 and the 146. That's fine.
You want it at the beginning of the paragraph? This was highlighted.
Let me pull it up on the screen for them real quick so they can read along. Baba Kushah. Oh yeah, it get real deep. Like, hold on. Yeah, man, we just gonna cut the whole fallacy. You know what I'm saying, of the white man and they marriage. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Where you trying to start at?
At the beginning of that paragraph, that's highlighted on 145.
The grandeur.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
This is the page 145 out of the history of the American Indians.
So we start with. So y'all, we starting at the beginning of the part that's highlighted. All right, go ahead.
The grandeur of the Hebrews consisted pretty much of the multiplicity of their wives to attend them.
So first and foremost, just letting you know, the children of Israel, it was common that they had multiple wives. You understand? Keep reading. You understand?
As a showy retinue, as the needier sort could not well purchase one, they had a like sort of marriage suitable to their circumstances, called the socialist usukakio, taking the woman for present use. When they had lived together about a year, if agreeable, they parted good friends by mutual consent.
That sounds like whoredom to me. You understand? Keep reading.
The Indians also fond of variety that they ridicule.
Hold on. The Indians and Native Americans, what?
Fond of variety.
You understand? The Native Americans had multiple wives, man. You understand? Keep reading.
The Indians are fond of variety that they ridicule the white people.
They did what?
Ridicule the white people.
You know what I'm saying? They got on their road. You know what I'm saying? Like, you only got one wife? And you struggling like this?
She giving you hell.
She giving you hell. I mean, good night. You only got one? I mean, I got 5. I mean, good night. You only got one to deal with. You can't deal with her? Good night. You know what I'm saying? Read.
They ridiculed the white people as a tribe of narrow-hearted, and dog constitution animals.
You understand? Oh man, I gotta start disrespecting white people in the Gadite way. You know what I'm saying? Them boys said you narrow-hearted, dog-constituted animal. You know what I'm saying? Good night. Go ahead.
For having only one wife at a time.
Hold on, I gotta pull up 146 for us so they keep reading along with you. Yeah, it get real, y'all. Hold on. Pull up 146 on the screen for y'all to read along. All right, go ahead.
For having one wife at a time and being bound to live with and support her.
You understand? That boy said, wait, time out. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, hold on, man. This man said, you narrow-hearted, dog constitution animal for only having one wife at a time and being bound to live and support her? Good night. Your woman don't got no job? She don't cook? She don't sew? You know what I'm saying? She don't make garments? She don't clean? You know what I'm saying? So she just sit in the house all day drinking water and fanning herself on the porch. What? Go ahead, brother. And she complaining? And she complaining.
That means the Native Americans were dealing with, and this is a shock to our sisters today, because the Native American woman had a craft.
Right.
They was actually dealing with a Proverbs 31 wife.
Right.
They was having Isaiah 4:1.
Right.
Getting their own bread, trying to be called by that man's name, and they were doing their own thing.
Cause like what you gotta understand is like you know the men just and it's like the white man thought that he could invent something better, all right, than this, all right. This was literally heaven on earth, okay. The men will go out hunting and fishing all day with they boys, chilling out with the boys. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they divvy up what they done caught or hunted. You understand? You took it back to your house. You know what I'm saying? Baby, skin it. You know what I'm saying? Cook it up real quick. Y'all eat, and then y'all have sex all night. What is better than that?
Good night.
What is better than that? You are on a constant vacation. You know what I'm saying? That's heaven. But the white man thought he could invent something better than that. Now you slaving all day. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what your kids is learning. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how they growing. You understand? You know, your wife is terrorizing you after you being terrorized by the terrorist, the oppressor, the white man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you feel me? Like, so, like, you'd give up heaven on earth to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? Like, good night. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Keep reading, man. Good night.
Though numberless circumstances might require a contrary conduct, when a young warrior cannot dress a la mode America, he strikes up one of those matches for a few moons, which they term Topsu Quadra, a make haste marriage, because it wants the usual ceremony and duration of the other kind of marriage. The friendliest kind of marriage among the Hebrews was eating bread together.
You understand? So like, what you do now, the only thing that you keep according to your culture, right, is the reception.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That is biblical. You know what I'm saying? See, biblical, what would happen was when a man and woman would come together, it would be a big old party for 7 days. You know what I'm saying? Between the two families, eating and drinking. You know what I'm saying? While the newlyweds are in a tent getting it on. You know what I'm saying? They having sex for 7 days. You know what I'm saying? The only time they come up is to eat and drink, and they go right back in it in the sack. You know what I'm saying? For 7 days. You understand? And then, you know, they would bring out the bloody the bed sheet as a testament, you know what I'm saying, that she was pure.
Right.
You understand? So, and then while this whole time or whatever, the family, they out there getting drunk, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, having a great old time, you know, drinking fire water, you know, playing music, you know what I'm saying? Just having a great old time. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's the way you get to know people. You know what I'm saying? You know, when that liquor hit your system, you know, you just, yeah, man, you know, back in my day, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? But, yeah, keep reading.
The bridegroom put a ring on the fourth finger of the bride's left hand before two witnesses and said, "Be thou my wife according to the law of Moses."
Keep reading.
Acceptance and silence implied consent, confirmed her part of the marriage contract because of the rigid modesty of the Eastern women. When the short marriage contract was read over, he took a cake of bread and broke it in two for himself and her, or otherwise he put some corn between their hands.
And this is where having a cake at a wedding comes from. You understand? That's not our traditions. You understand? That's the tradition of the other nations. That is not our tradition. You understand? And notice it said that they would put a band on the woman's hand, not the man's. You understand? Keep reading.
Gun, which customs were strong as emblems of necessity of mutual industry and concord to obtain present and future happiness.
All right, no sweat. Give me Genesis 24 and 67. $24.67.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent.
Where?
To his mother Sarah's tent. And took Rebekah.
He did what?
He took her.
He did what?
He took Rebekah.
Anybody? Does anybody know what take mean? If you don't know what take mean, good night. You know what I'm saying? In the words of General Muhammad, it's tying fire. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And she became his wife.
And she did what?
Became his wife.
Through sex. The way a woman becomes your wife is through sex, man. By you taking her. Because, like, you can have a whole a ceremony, but how is the marriage consummated? Through sex. You understand? Consistent nourishment of sex. Now, you wanna know how you renew your vows? Have sex with your wife, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to know how you tame the demon, the dragon, you know what I'm saying, in your wife? Have sex with your wife, man. She's carnal. That's all she wants. You know what I'm saying? She wants the rod Ya'ala. You understand? She wants you to tie fire to her biscuits. You understand? You understand? She wants you to candy the yams. You understand? Rick, what, you got something you want to say, brother? Go ahead.
That even Western society, this is how they separate the two, acknowledges sex being the thing that ties marriage, because you can go and you can have a ceremony, but if you all do not have sex in certain states after such,
it's null and void.
Marriage is null and void, and I believe you have about 60 to 90 days in some states, and some a little bit longer, but they still constitute the tying of the marriage
by sex. Like, if you do not have sex after your ceremony, it's law. It's in governmental law. You understand? Like, go ahead, brother.
And if I may, you can also a marriage can also be annulled by not having sex. That's ground to vacate a marriage by not being sexually satisfied by your partner. You can take that into court, and a judge will grant you a divorce, but not having sex with each other. Maya called. No, I did not call it the Rod Yahawda. I said Rod Ya'ala. You understand? The rod of the power. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Brought to you locally by a priest and prophet of the Lord and the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. That's right.
You know what I'm talking about? You understand? But go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Was that all in the scripture?
That was all in the scripture. It stops right
No sweat. Give me Deuteronomy 21 and 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
If a man have two wives,
How many?
two wives,
Okay.
one beloved and another hated,
Uh-huh.
and they have borne him children,
Uh-huh.
both the beloved and the hated.
Because, you know, we not narrow-hearted and dull constitutional animals. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
If the firstborn be of hers that was hated, then it shall be when he maketh his son to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
You understand? So, like, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? The Native Americans kept the law, statutes, and commandments because they were priests and prophets of the Lord, man. All right, give me so we can, you know, wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to carry this into a part 3, though I could go like a 7-part series just on this book alone. Give me page 115. Let me pull it up on the screen for him.
115?
Yeah. Hold on, let me pull it up on the screen for him. Alright. Let me go there with you myself, brother. Yeet. Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. You know what I'm saying? This really ain't nothing, man.
And Salaki, just if I may, while you're trying to put it up on the screen, this is the thing that we're missing out of us being a people.
Right.
We look, because of Christianity, we look upon all nations of people of being something that can be loved, should be loved, and will be loved, and then you slap Jesus on it and you try to make it a perfect picture. When your ancestors full well on knew that every other nation, the white man above all, were devils, accursed people.
Man, you getting ahead, man. Just go ahead, just go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it, man. You taking the thunder from the book.
Come on, son. You want it from the.
Start at let's see, what time is it? It's 44. Yeah, you can start at the beginning of the paragraph to the highlighted part.
This is the book of the history of the American Indians, page 15. Though the Indians did not use salt in their first fruit oblations till the 4th day, it is not to be doubted, but they formerly did. They reckon they cannot observe the annual expiation of sins without bear's oil, both to mix with the yearly offering and to eat with the new sanctified fruit.
Because when you made the sacrifice unto the Lord, you had to mingle the meat in flour and oil. You understand? It's biblical. Fried chicken is biblical, man. You understand? Chicken fried steak is biblical, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything fried righteous is biblical, man. It's an oblation unto the Lord. You understand? Keep reading.
Oh God. Both mixed with the yearly offering and to eat the new sanctified fruit. In some years they have a great deal of trouble in killing a sufficient quantity of bears for the use of religious
sacrament. No, I'm sorry, solemnity.
And their other sacred rites for the approaching year. For at such seasons they are hard to be found and quite lean.
Mm-hmm.
The traders commonly supplied themselves with plenty of oil from winter to winter, but the Indians are so prepossessed with the notion of the white people being all impure and accursed, that they deem their oils as polluting on those sacred occasions. As the Josephus tells us, the Jews reckon that of the Greeks.
Like, basically, in other words, the white man's the devil. You understand? Give me page 136. Let me pull it up on the screen for him. and then we gonna bust down these scriptures. Do.
136.
Yep, 136. Oh, let me.
So just to go back to what I was saying before I read, like every nation, well, most nations of dark-colored people, when they encounter Europeans or Edomites for the first time, considered them to be ungodly people.
Right.
Only certain nations of people, I mean, hell, most nations of people that come to America, they do not coexist with them per se in their everyday fashion.
Right.
Except to do business and to carry out only, you know.
And they excommunicate themselves.
Avoid, you know
right.
what I'm saying? But other than that, they have no dealings with them. They have no one to love them. They don't partake in their ways or anything that they do.
All right, come on. We got to get through this. Go ahead. Let's go and get through this.
Oh, fine. This is the book 130. This is page 136. History of the American Indians.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like the Jews, the greatest part of the southern Indians abstain from most things that either in themselves or in general apprehension of mankind, loathsome or unclean. Where we find a deviation from that general rule among them, it is a corruption, either owing to their intercourse with Europeans or having contracted an ill habit from necessity.
So basically, they got wickedness from either having sex with Europeans or taking on their culture. Keep reading.
They generally affix very vicious ideas to the eating of impure things, and all their prophets, priests, old warriors, and war chieftains before they entered on their religious duties, and while they were engaged in them, observed the strictest abstinence in this point. Formerly, if any of them did eat in the white people's houses, or even of what had been dressed there, they were sanctifying themselves. It was deemed a dangerous sin of pollution.
You understand? To even be around white people or to eat at a white man's table. You understand? That's why even when you look at depictions in movies of Native Americans, they wouldn't even eat their food. You understand? All right, go to page 34. Let me pull it up on the screen for them. We gonna run through these real quick. Hold on, pull it up on the screen. 34. All right, go ahead. You do. It's towards the end. No sweat.
It's page 34, History of the American Indian. Agreeable to the theocracy or divine government of Israel, the Indians think the deity to be selected to be immediate head of their state. All the nations of Indians were exceedingly intoxicated with religious pride and have an inexpressible contempt of the white people.
They have a what?
Inexpressible contempt.
They hated the white man so much. A word, it wasn't a word that could express how much they hated the white man because of the pride that they had in their God. You understand? And in their nation. Keep reading.
Unless we accept those half-savage Europeans who are become their proselytes. Nothing is the most favorable name they give us in said speech. Even the Indians who were formerly.
All right, you can go to the next page, page 35. Let me pull it up on the screen for them. Hold on. All right, go ahead.
Even those Indians who were formerly bred in
Amity
with us and in enmity to the French, used to call us in their war orations Hatuk of Pus, the cursed people. But they flattered themselves with the name Hatuk or Ratopa, the beloved people.
You understand? They would call the Native Americans savages and the cursed people and call them the beloved and blessed people when it was the other way around, because the Native Americans were living in heaven. You understand? And the white man was living in hell like a mad dog with no sanity of mind. He was 5150. He was retarded. He was crazy. He didn't know, you know what I'm saying, his toe from his ear hole. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Because their supposed ancestors, as they affirm, were under the immediate government of the deity, who was present with them in a very particular manner, and directed them by prophets, while the rest of the world were aliens and outlaws to the covenant.
You understand? All right. Now let's pull these precepts real quick so we can get up out of here. Give me Leviticus 20 and 26.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
Keep reading.
A man or a woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall be put to death. They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them.
No sweat. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
A what?
An holy people.
A what?
A holy people. Unto the Lord thy God, the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people.
Equal to.
Above all people.
Hand in hand with.
Above all people.
You know, we brothers.
Above all people. That are upon the face of the earth.
You understand? Like, if they not blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, they devils, man. They demons.
That's right.
You understand? They unclean. You understand? They're narrow-hearted. You understand? You feel me? So you got to understand first and foremost that in our culture, you understand, if you not of the fold, you understand, you out of there. You understand? You out of there. So, you know, this is a quick 2-part series breakdown on the history of Native Americans, specifically dealing with the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, you know what I'm saying, and the Creek, in the southern parts, you know what I'm saying, of the United States of America, from the perspective of James Adair. It's a great book. It's a lot more gems than that. Like I said, if I brought out everything that was in this book, it'd be a 7-part series. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we're going to say Amajium, which means to stand. All right. We're going to read in Sar, turning face to east. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Quadash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malak Wakah. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Natalanawa. Lacham. Kal. Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawakinawa, Wala'ah, Tabi'anawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Habashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahatapara, La'awalamyam, Aman, in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it. All right, Sar, turn to the front. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and then to the sisters. Men of Israel. Body Shabbat. Body. Rock. Y'all body ship, y'all shot, brother thug. Y'all to the top. Sar. Turn your face to sister. Men of Israel.
Money Shabbat. Budget. Rock. Yahweh Shema Thaba Shem Yahweh Shah. Y'all some time? Dismiss.